France, a team with world-class talent at every position. Superstars, game changers, players capable of winning matches on their own. On paper, France may have the strongest team heading into the 2026 FIFA World Cup. But football isn't played on paper. Can France turn its incredible talent into another World Cup trophy? Or will pressure, expectations, and fierce competition bring them down? Let's find out. France isn't just another contender. For many football fans, they're one of the first teams that comes to mind when talking about World Cup favorites, and it's not hard to see why. Just 4 years ago, France reached another World Cup final and came within a penalty shootout of winning it all. Since then, they've continued to produce elite talent at nearly every position on the field. From world-class defenders to creative midfielders, to some of the most dangerous attackers in world football. Few national teams can match France when it comes to depth, experience, and raw talent. But talent alone has never guaranteed success at the World Cup. And that's where the real question begins. Every World Cup contender needs a goalkeeper they can trust. For France, that man is Mike Maignan, known for his quick reactions, composure under pressure, and excellent distribution. Maignan has established himself as one of Europe's top goalkeepers. He's not just there to stop shots. He helps France build attacks from the back and stay calm in high-pressure moments. At the World Cup, one save can change everything, and France will be counting on Maignan to make those moments happen. France doesn't just have defenders, they have weapons, and Theo Hernández might be one of the most dangerous. His pace, aggressive runs, and attacking instincts constantly put pressure on opposing defenses. When Hernández gets space down the left flank, he can change a game in an instant. And that's exactly the kind of player France will need on the world's biggest stage. At the heart of France's defense is William Saliba. Calm under pressure and incredibly consistent, Saliba has become one of the most reliable center-backs in world football. His positioning, strength, and ability to read the game allow him to shut down dangerous attacks before they become real threats. Whether it's winning aerial duels or stopping fast counterattacks, Saliba gives France a level of defensive stability that every championship team needs. And in a tournament where one mistake can end your dream, that stability is priceless. Alongside Saliba is Dayot Upamecano, a defender built for the modern game. Powerful, aggressive, and exceptionally athletic, Upamecano thrives in one-on-one battles against some of the world's best attackers. His pace allows France to play higher up the field, while his physical presence makes life difficult for opposing forwards. When Upamecano is at his best, he gives France the ability to control games and dominate defensively. On the right side, France can rely on Jules Koundé. Versatile, disciplined, and technically gifted, Koundé brings balance to the French defense. He can defend against dangerous wingers, support the attack when needed, and help maintain possession under pressure. His intelligence and consistency make him one of the most dependable players in the squad. And in a tournament where every detail matters, players like Koundé often become the difference between winning and losing. With talent across the entire back line, France has the defensive foundation of a true contender, but championships aren't won by defenders alone. The real engine of this team sits in midfield. Adrien Rabiot may not be the flashiest name in France's midfield, but he brings something every great tournament team needs: balance, experience, and control. Rabiot can help France in both directions, winning physical battles, covering space, and supporting attacks when the team moves forward. He gives the midfield more structure, and he doesn't need to be the star to make a major impact. In a team full of explosive talent, Rabiot is the kind of player who helps keep everything connected. And at the World Cup, that kind of reliability can be just as important as individual brilliance. But if Rabiot gives France balance, Aurélien Tchouaméni gives them power, protection, and control in the heart of midfield. Tchouaméni gives France something every World Cup contender needs in midfield: power, discipline, and protection. He can break up attacks, win physical battles, and give France control in the center of the pitch. And let's be honest, with the way he moves, tackles, and covers ground, Tchouaméni sometimes looks like he moonlights as a UFC fighter when nobody is watching. But jokes aside, his role is massive, because with so many attacking players in front of him, France needs someone who can clean up mistakes, stop counterattacks, and keep the team balanced. Tchouaméni may not always be the player scoring the goals, but he might be one of the biggest reasons France can control games. And while Tchouaméni gives France power in midfield, Désiré Doué brings something completely different: creativity, unpredictability, and youthful energy. After breaking through at PSG and becoming a Champions League winner, Doué has already shown that big stages don't scare him. He brings creativity, confidence, and unpredictability, the kind of qualities that can completely change the rhythm of a game. With Doué, France gets a player who can carry the ball, attack defenders, and create danger in spaces where most players see nothing. And in a tournament like the World Cup, sometimes one fearless young player can be enough to unlock an entire defense. France already has superstars, but Doué gives them something different: fresh energy, no fear, and the feeling that his biggest moments may still be ahead. And if Doué gives France youthful creativity, the front three gives them pure danger: speed, skill, and superstar power, starting with Ousmane Dembélé. Dembélé enters this World Cup cycle with something very few players in history can say. He is the reigning Ballon d'Or winner. After an incredible season with PSG, Dembélé finally turned years of talent, injuries, and frustration into one of the best individual campaigns in world football. But now comes the harder part: doing it again. This season may not have been as explosive as the last one, but Dembélé still gives France something extremely dangerous: unpredictability. He can attack with both feet, beat defenders in tight spaces, and create chances out of absolutely nothing. When Dembélé is confident, defenders don't just have to guess what he's going to do. They have to pray they guessed right. And if France gets the Ballon d'Or version of Dembélé in 2026, this attack becomes terrifying. But Dembélé is not the only creative threat France can unleash. On the other side, Michael Olise gives this attack a completely different kind of problem for defenders. Olise might not be the biggest name in France's attack, but right now he may be the one in the best form: goals, assists, chance creation, confidence. Olise has been playing like a man who knows this could be his moment. While defenders are focused on Mbappé and Dembélé, Olise can quietly become the player who breaks the game open. He doesn't need to dominate the spotlight to control the rhythm of an attack. He can drift inside, find pockets of space, deliver the final pass, or finish the move himself. And that makes him extremely dangerous, because at the World Cup, every team prepares for the superstars. But sometimes, It's the shadow leader, the player opponents don't fear enough, who ends up deciding everything. If Olise carries this form into 2026, France's attack becomes much harder to stop. And then, of course, there is the man every defense is already terrified of, Kylian Mbappé. The face of this French team, the player every defense prepares for first. His time at Real Madrid hasn't always been simple. The pressure, the expectations, the headlines, the noise around the club, Kylian has had to deal with all of it. But none of that changes who he is. For France, Kylian is still the superstar, still the captain, still the player who can turn one run, one touch, or one moment of space into a goal. We've already seen him carry France on the biggest stage before. And in 2026, the expectation is simple. If France is going to win the World Cup, Kylian doesn't just need to be good. He needs to be decisive. Because this team has talent everywhere. But Mbappé is still the player who makes France feel truly terrifying. But France is not perfect. And if they fail in 2026, it probably won't be because they don't have enough talent. It will be because of pressure, expectations, injuries, and the challenge of turning individual brilliance into one united team. France has players who can win games on their own. But at the World Cup, that is not always enough. The best teams are not always the most talented teams. They are the teams that stay disciplined when everything starts going wrong. And that may be the real test for France. And that's where Didier Deschamps becomes so important. He knows what it takes to win this tournament. He has already lifted the World Cup as a coach. He has already taken France to another final. And with a squad this talented, his biggest job may not just be tactics. It may be managing the pressure, the egos, and the expectations. So, can France win the 2026 World Cup? Absolutely. On paper, they have everything. A world-class goalkeeper, elite defenders, power and creativity in midfield, and one of the most dangerous attacks in football. But the World Cup is never won on paper. France has the talent to beat anyone. The only question is whether they can become the team that handles the pressure better than everyone else. If they do, France may not just be a contender. They may be the team to beat in 2026. If you want more World Cup 2026 breakdowns like this, subscribe. Brazil is next.